Glad you could join us again. With us, as always, is Greg Engert, beer director for the Neighborhood Restaurant Group, a James Beard Award nominee. The group includes Blue Jacket, where we are, and the latest addition to the group, the Sovereign in Georgetown. You also got GBD and Iron Gate and DuPont Circle. Greg, always good to see you.
You too, brother.
It is a beautiful sunny day. We are getting close to opening day, thus, and this is a great place to come before and or after the game. What is on tap this week?
So this week is a perfect springtime beer. We have a beer called Fourthmeal, and it's brand new from the Bruery and Maine Beer Company. So an excellent cross-continental collaboration here between our friends down in Placentia, California, Orange County, the brewery, and our buddies up in Fremont, Maine, right outside of Portland, Maine Beer Company. And it brings the best of both worlds. You see, it's a hazy beer. We serve it in a tulip because it's Belgian style. But it's got lots of great hop character, as any beer that Maine Beer Company has evolved would.
Oh my. That is something.
Awesome.
It's kind of the, it's sort of like you got chocolate in my peanut butter. It's the best of the two
right,
worlds,
exactly. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's really good.
Really balanced, really dry. I mean, fitting, you mentioned the Sovereign, because one of the things we're trying to do with Sovereign is to showcase that Belgian beer is not always 12% alcohol and heavily spiced and sweet, but that some of the best Belgian beers are actually bone dry and have great hop character without being too bitter. And this hits it on the head. In fact, this is a beer that we serve at the Sovereign. And it's wonderful.
You know you love a brewery. I have not been to the brewery in California. I would like to. I've been to Maine Beer Company's tasting room. Great place. And you know you love a beer when you're traveling and you buy way too much than you could possibly bring back in your luggage on the plane.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
When I went to Maine Beer Company. It's
amazing place. And they just do so many things so well. I mean, I love it when you get a beer that's kind of like, so this collaboration, we've talked about collaborations a lot in the past, and sometimes collaborations are just marketing tools, other times they seem somewhat forced and not really the passion energies behind them. But in this case, it's just so cool. It's, classic Belgian yeast giving us those great kind of fruity esters, a little bit of a spicy phenolic note, and then the hop character, which is in the nose, but then the dry bitter finish you get from the Maine Beer Company side. I mean, this is a sort of departure for the brewery, but one that makes perfect sense in their, oeuvre as well. So it's a phenomenal beer.
Do you know any of the backstory about how these guys got together? I mean, they're kind of, whereas this is, looking at the camera, this is Maine, this is California, long way away.
I think there is such huge community among the craft beer scene, and when you have like different festivals where brewers end up, hanging out together at pouring beers, or like the Craft Brewers Conference, which is coming up in Philadelphia this year. Patrick Rue was the owner of the brewery, and Dave and Dan Cleben, who own the Maine Beer Company, probably came together. All of us are like-minded, in fact, all good friends. So I'd imagine it's that way. And what's really fun too is the name of the beer. So Maine Beer Company is known most famously for an IPA called Lunch, which is amazing. They also have an Imperial double IPA that is next to impossible to get in these parts, called Dinner. And so they make a joke on this beer as kind of like Linner. It's where lunch meets dinner. It's the fourth meal. And a really cool take on it at that.
I bought a Maine Beer Company Wheeze the other day, and Maine Beer Company, as you mentioned, they are masters of great hoppy beers, but do not pass up their darker beers.
No, dark beers are phenomenal.
It's just ridiculous. So
really delicious.
And the
stuff.
Brewery, gosh, you can just so many different options too.
The barrel-aged imperial stouts that they do, and then they have their sour program, their Britannomyces funky beers, really wonderful stuff.
All right, enough of this love fest. What would you pair it with?
This is a beer that, based on that kind of dry, crisp, refreshing quality and that bitterness, as well as the lemony tang in the nose. This is awesome with rich Mexican dishes. We do this a lot with like guacamole, fish tacos, but you could do it with like beef burritos. I think this would be just fantastic with any of that stuff.
How about my favorite, mole sauce?
Oh, yeah.
That's right, the chocolate,
great,
the coffee.
Especially because the lemon, it's not weird that they serve a little lemon peel with espresso citrus and chocolate and coffee are awesome together. So doing this with that kind of chocolatey mole would liven it up and brighten it as well.
Greg, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Everyone, please always do drink responsibly and be sure to bring your thirst next time for another Beer of the Week.